Good day to everyone, and welcome to Cathy Chat. Can you believe it? In Kansas City right now, we have blizzard conditions. What a perfect day to get all cozy and warm and hear from one of the Kansas City superstars. I'm here to introduce you to the one, yes, the only, Deby Miller. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Staying in the house, car in the garage.
Oh my gosh. Schools have closed, streets are shut down. It is literally, this is the day to make soup or whatever people do in the K room. And it is just amazing. And I'm thrilled that you are my guest today on Cathy Chat.
Thank you for having me. It's been a bit to get to this point.
That's exactly correct. I got to meet Deby a couple years ago on Zoom. We still haven't met in person, if you can imagine. And we're probably a full 20 or 30 miles away distance wise, if you can imagine. But it is awesome to be able to meet you here. And I know that you have so much to share, so much exciting news for the different things that are coming up in your world. So if there's anyone left in the world, and I mean in the world, since you are such a big presence in Australia now, tell us a little bit about the one, the only Deby Miller.
Well, thanks for having me. I am the wife of one husband of now almost 51 years.
Whew. Wow.
Um, that's been quite an adventure. And actually, he is from northern Wisconsin, where it is super cold and worse than here. Um, and we met in Wyoming, of all places. And I am from Nebraska. So that was kind of a strange God thing to get us both connected. And we now have 5 grown sons who have brought 5 beautiful daughters of love to us. And from them, we now have 18 beautiful grandchildren, and sadly no more babies. They're all, the oldest ones or the youngest ones are all in school, so it's no babies for grandma and grandpa to hold, so that's kind of sad.
Something tells me that you've got great grandchildren coming up in your life someday soon, my friend.
Probably in the next couple years, I guess.
Yeah.
That will be pretty fun.
I know that you had a wedding in your family last year.
Right, yes. Oldest granddaughter got married 17 hours away, so grandpa and I didn't go to see the wedding, which was sad. But she did come home for Christmas, so we're keeping her in the will.
So she's redeemed.
Yes.
She's redeemed. That's very good. I love that. Now, you just mentioned the W word, and I know that one of your dynamic passions for helping other people has to do with your company. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we have been with Prepaid Legal Services Inc. now for 15 years.
Wow.
And one of the things that really caught our eye was the fact that we could have our wills written and then reviewed annually to make sure it still says what we needed to say. When Ken's dad died, his mom had to get his name off of her will, and she was charged $3,000 to get his name off in only 3 places. And I thought that was just absolutely crazy. And so I'm glad that our service does that as a thank you, really, for being a member. We cover every area of law in your area, so and we're in all of North America, so we can help a lot of people, individuals, families, and small businesses with all their legal needs.
That is such a beautiful service for a lot of reasons. And here we are coming up in basic tax season at this time. And so people are thinking about filing their tax returns. And then there is a lot of identity problems in that arena as well. What does the ID Shield piece of your company help us with?
Right, yes, the protection of monitoring all sorts of your social media and every other area that you give them access to, they'll monitor it. And when something happens, they send actually experts to go and take care of the situation so that you can breathe a little easier. At least I would, knowing that somebody knows what they're doing, because I certainly have no clue about what to do. And so I'm glad they take care of it for us.
Absolutely. And that's another wonderful opportunity because you don't know what you don't know. And to be able to have a service like yours, to be able to help all of us is really phenomenal. And I didn't know you had been with the company for almost 15 years. That's awesome.
Yes, it has been really great, and we've loved helping the people that we've been able to reach. So we're looking for all kinds of more people to help.
That's amazing. I want everyone to know that literally a couple years ago, Michelle Cruz, and she still does this, she was hosting a group called Coffee Club. And so all of a sudden, Deby Miller pops up on Coffee Club, and I hadn't met Deby Miller yet. And so I thought, oh my gosh. And then from there, we went to Doc and Queenie bingo parties, and you just attended so many of our everything. And of course, by this point, we had done a lot of the shutdown, lockdown thing as far as the pandemic, and the rest is history. And I happen to know right about a year ago this month, I saw you on Coffee Club, and I said, we're starting a group called Happy Neighborhood Project Midwest Ladies. Would you like to be one of the co-hosts? What was your answer, Deby Miller?
I actually said yes. I'm still in shock, but here we are, almost a year later. So yeah, it's been a great experience, great learning time for probably all of us. But I've learned a lot, and the virtual reality world that I get to be part of actually almost every day on computers and chatting with friends from around the globe has been pretty awesome.
It's phenomenal to think that this technology was so new to many of us just a couple years ago. And the punt and pivot piece of what we do to be able to grow our networks and certainly to keep our businesses growing and in our cases thriving has been amazing. So for anyone out there who doesn't know about Happy Neighborhood Project or certainly Midwest Ladies, please share about that.
Okay, well, Midwest Ladies is part of the Happy Neighborhood Project, where we're working to keep happiness in our business and promoting each other, not just what we can gain from it personally, but to help. I think the whole point of us is to build up each other and encourage each other. And so all of our businesses thrive by growing and helping, and as you said, pivoting, because we seem to have a lot of different things where we get to pivot and shift things just a little bit more. Midwest Ladies is a group that meets on Thursdays at 11 o'clock Central Time, and we're glad to have ladies from all over the globe if their time zone allows for that. We do think that some of us women need to rest, and so we don't actually expect people from certain parts of the world to show up at our 11 o'clock. But it's been great to be able to get to know a lot of people from pretty much the whole globe. And even if we can't actually sit down and have coffee together in the same room, we can virtually sit down and get to know them actually pretty well. It's amazing how, to me, I'm surprised at how well we get to know some of the different ladies that we talk with every week. It's really seems like you actually know them well.
And don't you feel if we didn't have these daily, weekly communications with some of the friends that we've met now in the Happy Neighborhood Project, there would be such a void?
Yeah, even the weeks that, for whatever reason, life gets in the way and you're missing even one or two of your events, it's like, wow, something's really wrong. So yeah, it, and especially a lot of people are today talking about how stressed they are, how depressed they are, how I don't know, how everything is pressing down on them and they can't, their minds are all shutting down or whatever. And think this has been a great way to keep us all connected. And, if you're having a bad day, I can cheer you up. If I'm having a bad moment, then somebody else can cheer me up. And that's what we need to do. That's what life is for.
That's a beautiful way to say it as well, because I do know that the camaraderie piece, even on Zoom, is real. I mean, literally, it's real. Do you have time right now for coffee? And it's like, yeah. And even if you can't go somewhere because you've got a meeting in 20 minutes, you still get to meet with for coffee with people from across the globe. A little bird told me, my friend, that you have a very large presence in Australia. Tell us about that.
Yes, well, Australia Happy Neighborhood Project actually meets 3 times a week, 3 different meetings, and I go simply because I like, I enjoy the people. Of course, guess I started because thinking that, hey, it would be warm and it'd help me to think about warm things and I'd love to go to Australia one day. Whether I actually get there in person or not, I could at least virtually go this way. And they have now started a thing where the will winners, at the end of where you get to tell everybody who you are and your business, they ask you to do a video. And so, two, well, I've now gotten to do that 4 times in the last month. So I'm like, I
Oh,
guess I'm becoming a celebrity in Australia. So
yes, you are. I have been able to see that all of a sudden on LinkedIn pop up. Here comes Deby Miller. All of a sudden on Facebook pop up. Here comes Deby Miller. And it's just very awesome to be able to see this. And it's basically, I feel a book in your offing called From Midwest Ladies to Australia and Everything in Between. What do you think?
yeah, it's part of that growing. And
Absolutely. Now, I happen to know that there are several things coming up within the Happy Neighborhood. Can you tell us, first of all, how much are these groups that you keep talking about for networking?
the networking is always free forever, and so that wasn't a price I could afford. There's also that there's 65 of them, so and they meet all different times of the day. So for my friends who work a full-time job or a part-time job, there was usually something that they could pick. And of course, today with snow day, I'm thinking some people are stuck at home because their job wouldn't let them come in. Too bad. But hey, if they had a side gig, they could always pop on to our ladies, Midwest ladies at 11, or at some other meeting, and share their business and just get to know other small business people so that they don't feel like they're the only one trying to do something, weird, uh, trying to throw more into their life. And of course, since there's 65 of them, there's something at almost any time of the day. So you can always check that out. And we're going to have a wonderful uh, Happy Neighborhood International Day of Happiness coming up. So there's all kinds of events. So it's a great way to meet people and get your business and your name out.
The International Day of Happiness is the one where we are going to break the Guinness Book of World Records for most people networking at one time. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. We are ready. We are going to break that record. Happy Neighborhood Project will be alive and well and hold the record for the next 18, 25, 50 million years. And I know that that's going to happen. So the International Day of Happiness is always March 20th. And this year it's going to be held on March 18th within the Happy Neighborhood Project. And the platform that we're going to be using is Hopin. So if you haven't done hopin.com yet, this is a great opportunity to do that. Now, before we say goodbye today, my friend, I would like you to share with our listeners and our viewers about the Happy Co-op. You've been very, very, very active and one of our top leaders in the co-op. What is that?
Well, most of us have heard of co-ops, whether it's your bank situation or, I mean, I grew up in a farm community, so we had co-ops where it was just a group of people that worked together for a common cause. Happy Neighborhood Project has similar idea. However, we're kind of blowing it out of the water with thousands of people to be part of the co-op where we work together and network together, help grow each other's business, and we actually earn points for for doing fun stuff like going to meetings that we enjoy going to, and then we share in the revenue that the co-op makes, and we make decisions together. So it's a really unusual but fun way to go. And so if some of our friends have not set up a free co-op, Happy Neighborhood Project co-op site, they should do that and at least and check it out.
Fantastic. And I did want to mention, for those of you listening and watching with us now, or certainly on the replay, in the comments section underneath this video or the podcast, Deby is going to post her link so you can click on it and go directly to how to register for the co-op, how to register for the International Day of Happiness, or certainly how to register for any of the networking events within the Happy Neighborhood Project, because Deby is literally coast to coast when it comes to world globally, hemisphere to hemisphere, shall we say, when it comes to networking. And so the links will be in the comment section underneath these videos, or certainly the podcast link. All right, my friend, before we leave today, is there anything we haven't talked about that you would like to share? And how would everyone get a hold of you who wants to talk about networking or certainly your Legal Shield services?
Well, I can put my virtual business card into the link as well.
Perfect.
And that will simplify getting connected with me on all of my social media areas. And I look forward to talking to a lot of our friends, getting to know them better as well.
Beautiful. That would be fantastic. I'm so happy that you were able to join me today on Cathy Chat. And thank you for everyone watching and listening today. And if you are in a snowy climate and this is a perfect snow day for you to cuddle up with a cup of coffee or a bowl of soup or whatever that looks like, we're thrilled that you shared your time with us today. Thank you again for being with me, Deby. I can't wait to see you today at Midwest Ladies and every Thursday at 11 o'clock Central Time, as well as all across the globe.
Thank you, Cathy.
Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye.